Hi there, I'm with Andrew Young from Hazel 4D, and we'll be talking about waste regulations and how that is affecting the industry and what Hazel 4D is doing to meet those challenges of the new regulations in waste.
Yeah, so we've seen a big change this year with the introduction of EPR for the first time, so a lot more reporting requirements placed on businesses. I think that's really opened the door to the need to work with partners who can provide detailed information around packaging, breakdowns of materials, really the nuts and bolts of packaging waste reporting that's not been required in the industry before. I think for a lot of businesses, especially in the logistics world, these are considerations they've not had before, so it's led to some gaps like who's responsible for complete within our businesses, what do we need to do and when, and lots of the indecisive feedback around the government clarification on legislation has been tough for businesses to take on board. It's been kind of an opportunity for us. We focus on our expertise, building our reputation on providing information to our customers as a thought leader partner, as a trusted expert, and so being able to give those customers the advice about when to do certain reporting requirements and how to calculate that information, it's been a really big win for us as a packaging supplier.
Okay, what are the major battles around sustainability?
So for a number of years now we've seen this challenge around plastic versus paper and always the battle between cost and sustainability. Historically it's been a drive to reduce plastic usage wherever possible, and again that sometimes led to some challenges within businesses because plastic often is the right solution. We have a big speciality in pallet wrapping. There's paper pallet wrap out there, but it just doesn't do the same job as plastic. And when you're looking at reducing your packaging usage, you're looking at optimising what you're doing from a packaging perspective, plastic is really the right solution in many applications. Now, with some of the big brands we work with, they have blanket policies to reduce plastic, source out recycled content options, and it's taken a little bit of time for the supply chain to align itself with that output. So that's one key area. Second area is this ability for certainly big businesses to make big switches in their packaging choices without too much interruption to operations. So we have a solution dedicated around that called Sustainable Switchover, which is all about taking what people are using now, switching to more sustainable options without the challenges that can often come about with interruptions to operational reliability. So again, an opportunity for us, but a very difficult decision when you've got different stakeholder drivers within a company. And again, this is where our role as an expert in the industry to provide the information, the reasons for doing it, and really clear and detailed data, which has a big benefit to the people that we work closely with.
It sounds as if the regulations around packaging have intensified and become more complicated. Where are you in terms of this as a company, keeping hold of this and communicating it with your customers?
Yeah, so I think we're in a really strong position. We've always focused on giving customers really clear, detailed data, whether that's on machinery investments or in terms of their current usage. Giving clarity over return on investment has been key to us. So we're used to dealing with being number-driven businesses. So we've always been in a strong position in that regard. We have dedicated sustainability team within the business. So again, we're there to provide advice outside of the normal consumable supply. I think one of the challenges, though, is this being able to see where we're going to be in 2 to 3 years down the line, because if we can give the best advice to customers now, it means they're going to be well positioned for the future. And right now it's not quite clear certainly where the EPR will end up with modulated fees that are coming in, so there'll be extra costs around plastic and packaging and paper and packaging, and what we need to do is work with our customers to reduce their usage, minimise weight, and with that we should be able to position them best for the next few years.
And just to emphasise, what are the main selling points that you can give to your customers about how they kind of manoeuvre with these new regulations? What are the key things you can do for them?
So the key wins for them really is to get an understanding of what you're using. Now, a lot of big brands who are here today, a lot of the logistics companies that are exhibiting, packaging can sometimes fall through the cracks a little bit, and certainly on the reporting side of things, it's not always clear who's responsible for what. So what we can do is we can give you really simple data to start with. We can audit you on site, we've got a bespoke consultation service, which basically means we come in, we assess everything that you do, and we give you a clear and detailed report back. That's the best starting point. It means you understand where you're at today. We can then give you real detailed options around next steps, and then help you implement those as well. So service is probably our biggest strength as a business. So we're there to back it up with experts in servicing, experts in engineering team, and experts in sustainability. So really, if you're looking for someone who can simplify your packaging, can give you really good clarity over the next few years of the direction to go in, can do that horizon scanning on your behalf so you can focus on what your business does best, that's where we really add value to our customers.
And I'd imagine these regulations are going to become even greater. So this is an ongoing process. You can't just do it now. You've got to look, as a company and as one of your clients, you've really got to say the future will need more of this kind of management.
Absolutely, and you've got to embrace it and you've got to see it as an opportunity. If for logistics businesses, if you've got the right partners in place, you will be able to use it as a competitive advantage in your offer to your customers. If you know where you need to position yourself from a packaging perspective or whatever the regulations are, you know you're going to be well protected, you're reducing your risk, and you're seizing the opportunity to add value to your end users. So if you've got the right partners in place, that's where the opportunity comes from it. And absolutely, there's only going to be more and more regulations, there's going to be more and more pressure on costs, there's going to be drivers around the reduction of single-use plastics. And if you're talking about businesses here today, they're going to be shipping worldwide. So you need to have visibility of what's happening in Europe, what's happening across the world, and how you can navigate that best over the next few years.
Thank you, Andrew. Is it possible just to go through some of the main regulatory issues that are facing about turnover and tonnages, etc., and how it affect the industry?
Yeah, so there's a couple of nuances to the regulations, as it is with every regulation, but there's different requirements about whether you're shipping branded packaging or not branded packaging, whether you are pack filling yourselves or not. And this is where it's tricky for 3PLs in particular, where they might be fulfilling orders on behalf of customers using their packaging or using plain and unbranded packaging. So that's one key area is if you're shipping and it's got your brand on it, you're probably going to have some obligations in and around that. The next key question is around turnover, like you mentioned. If you are less than a couple of million, the likelihood is that's going to pass higher up your supply chain. If you're not, then you're likely to have some obligations under it. And after that, it really does break down to detail. So you need to get a really good picture of what types of packaging, what types of waste you're producing, what material they are. So it's paper, cardboard, aluminium, metal, all that full range. You need a good overview, and you need to have some good clarity of where that's going to end up. So if it's ending up in curbside recycling, this is where modulated fees will come in play in the future. If it's ended up into B2B waste streams, you're going to be a little bit more protected, but you still have to report on that waste production. So getting a clear picture of where you're, on what you're buying, where it's going, is absolutely critical, and certainly getting really detailed information about what's branded and what's not will always be key for the next few years.
And that's where you come in with your expertise.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Cheers, Seth.